me know.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Faith Tavengwa. It's been a while since I did a video. I've been so busy with my personal life. I've got a young baby as well, so it's really hard to film, to find the right time to make a YouTube video. But today I thought, no, I need to say something I'm passionate about, because always when I do a video, it's because it's ideas that came to my mind, or when I'm feeling passionate to motivate or share with other women, my life experiences and what I've been through and what I see in life, so that maybe it can speak to someone or it can inspire or help someone going through the same situation. So I push myself sometimes to say I need to do this, because I know in the first place I started to do this for women, to help women, to support women, to encourage women, and I want to go back on it. So another thing I just wanted to let you know is, for every topic that I put on YouTube, I'm going to be releasing some booklets that people can buy online, can be digital, or if you want them printed, I can send a copy for you, because this helps if you're going through a situation. If it's written in short form, like in booklets, it's easy to just read and just remind yourself that you're not alone in a certain situation, because writing is my other passion. I love writing, so I thought I could use that writing for my passion to empower women. So my topic today is about tips for young women before settling down. This is just to remind young women that before rushing to settle down, there's certain things that you need to think about, considering what you see from your older sisters. We've made mistakes in the past, before settling down, didn't think, or we didn't know any better. But now that we're older, we start to see life and think, oh no, we should sort of like teach our young sisters not to make the same mistakes. Although I know it's hard, experience is the greatest lesson. Sometimes people have to experience for themselves. You don't have to sort of like put pressure on them by advising them, but it helps sometimes, to give them tips. But they have to experience life for themselves and make their own mistakes and learn from them. But I just thought, oh, these 10 tips might help. I'm just going to try to make a short video and prolong it. My first point is focus on your goals. As a woman, as a young woman, when you're growing up, we all have goals or things that we want to do when we grow up, be it career-wise. Some people, they say, I want to be a doctor when I grow up, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a nurse. Or some people, they're very talented at hair doing or other things. They just say, me, I just want to be a hairdresser, on my own salon. There's a lot of some that do put a cooking, they want to own their own catering company. So I just believe that everyone has got a talent, everyone is good at something. So these are part of your goals, things that you focus on. That's for you. You put yourself first and say, I want to achieve this thing. So my first point is focus on your goals. Make sure that no matter what situation you go through in life, don't lose yourself. Keep on fighting to achieve your goals. Don't let anyone or settling down or any means stop you from achieving your goals, because it is very important, because this represents your life. You need to own your goals, focus on your goals. That was my first point. And my second point is work hard to be independent. This is very important, because from our childhood, we used to see our mothers. My own mother told me that at the times when they were getting married, they were expected to leave their jobs. If you were an independent woman who was working, you had to leave your job for marriage and concentrate on raising a family, and the man has to provide for you, work for you. So, but we're so lucky our new generation is saying no, because we realize that our own mothers were abused because of that. It's not easy to depend on someone for everything, to ask for everything, from asking for money to buy pads, panties, underwear. You know what I mean? So I don't think our generation love that. So I just put this point to just remind women that it's important to be independent, have your own source of income, or have means for survival. Don't go into settling down or into marrying. Even if you meet a guy who's educated or a guy who's got money already, who says, I will take care of you, you don't have to worry about anything, Yes, it's so sweet, you know, it's nice to have a man saying that, but no matter what, don't let that get into your head. Just always make sure that you have something to fall back on. You are an independent woman, you've got your own means of survival. It gives you some strength in you rather than just depending on someone. You know, it's in life, you know, life is sweet. Love is sweet in the earliest times, you know, in most relationships, but eventually as time goes on, things start to change, you know. It's not anyone's fault, but that's how nature is, you know. Things can't be the same in the beginning, and when it's gone on for long, things start to change. So I just want to remind women that it's very important to have your own means of survival, even if it's a small business, even something, but at least that money comes in your name, and you know that I'm doing something. I may have a purpose, my own purpose, rather than sitting at home waiting for your husband to provide for you or your partner to provide for you for your every little need. Even it helps to show your kids that how important it is to be independent. So you live a life to be a great example as well to your kid, so that they don't be like you again and say, oh, our mother used to just sit down and our dad used to do everything for them. You know, it's always good for as a woman to have something to do for yourself. And for girls, I like to encourage you that before you settle down, have a plan B, or have something set on the side to do. If you're not doing anything, always have a backup plan. Don't just go in blinded and think this man is educated or man is going to take care of me. And the third point is think before you act. You know, me when I was young, my mindset was just about now. I was just thinking about excitement, you know, the thought of being with someone that you love, just living together, having your own life, they marry you. But no, there's more to marriage than just, you know, being in love, sitting together. There's a lot of things that go into it. So before you settle down, you have to think that, and be sure that that's what you want, and that's the person that you want to spend your rest of your life with, you know, because you have to learn someone, you know. Learn someone means like get to know them with time. Don't rush and just make quick decisions. Say, oh, John loves me, he loves me, and I'm sure that he's going to be a good husband. No. There's a lot that goes in. You have to check their values, check what they believe in, you know, how they see life in general, because all those things will come back popping in the marriage. So think hard before you act. Don't say, I know John doesn't like this, but I'm sure once we get settled, I'll change him. No, you can't change someone. You know, don't be too confident with that. You know, of course, people do change by themselves, but don't tell yourself that you can change someone. They have to want the change. So that point is to think before you act. And then do not rush. Do not rush means that it's sort of like add on to the same point that I said before, that do not rush means that do not be taken by the sweet love in the early days and just make rash decisions. Take your time, you know the person. Starting from 6 months, that's when you should start to sort of like have an evaluation to say, okay, what kind of a person John is or James is. I think by now I know his character, that he always a nice guy, he's kind, he's giving, how he treats people, how he deals with his family. You need to know all those sides, you know, so that tomorrow when you settle down, you will know how he relates to his family. Tomorrow it won't be a problem when you start to say, oh, but how come you let your mother come in between us, or you let your sisters come in between us? All those problems, they pop up in marriage. So you need to see how they handle their families, where they put you, because obviously the love they have for their blood or for their mother is different from the one they have for you. But they have to respect you as well, as you are part of them now if you settle down. So they have to create a balance and know how to handle both of their family and you. But sometimes all these things bring problems in the family. So you need to study that as a woman. Study that so that it doesn't come back to you crashing your marriage. Because, you know, when it comes to the husband's family, you know, sometimes as women, when we start to speak out, then the men will tell you, oh, so you want to come between me and my family, and then that's a problem. That's a problem. You can't win that kind of fight. It's not easy. Because even if a man loves you so much that he leaves his family, still you won't be happy, because you will think it's not safe for you, because one day you will still go back to his family because that's his family. Eventually it's gonna, you know, it's not gonna work. You need their blessing. It's very important for things to work out. You need sort of like, I'm not saying that people will get on like fully, but there'll be differences, but it's just that respect and being able to visit each other and be there for each other as family. So all those things we should think about, girls, don't just rush into things thinking love is sweet. Of course, someone might love you and show you the sweet side, but you need to study hard, get to know the person 1 year, 2 years before you settle with them. Because anything that's rushed is always regretted in life, Anything that's rushed, I'm talking from experience, anything that's rushed, because I went in without knowing much. And because now obviously the person we met here, the family was back home in Africa, so I didn't know much. I just rushed. I just said, as long as I'm with him, I don't care about the rest. I know it's got family, but they're not. But I want to let you know that it affects you even if they are far. If you're having issues, it affects you even if you are far, because those are his family. They always remain his family no matter what. So you need to know that they're able to create a balance between your relationship and their family. My next point is never be pressured. As a Black African woman, we all have family, aunties, and there's a time scale usually for young girls. They usually say, oh, you are 20, between 20 to 25. That's when they start looking out for you to get married, settle down. They start to tell you about, oh, someone's daughter has gotten married. They start shouting at you, saying that, oh, how come you girls of your age are getting me, what's wrong with you? Some family, they can really pressure you until you lose yourself. But I just want to remind you today that do not let any pressure get to you, because we're all different. Just because Susan got married at 20 or someone got married at 22, it doesn't mean that it's going to be the same for you. We're all different. Our journey of life are different, Everyone's got their set journey. Just believe in yourself. Just know, as long as you are doing the right thing, do not let anyone pressure you to settle down before your time, or to end up making you marry someone you are not ready, you're still getting to know because of pressure, or end up pressuring a guy that my family is complaining, say, when are you going to marry me, this and that, These things, they don't need pressure, because pressure is not good. Anything done under pressure, again, just like rushing, is not good. There's a time for everything. Our experiences in life are different, There's no age limit, Me, I believe in God, and I know that God's time is the best, not our human time. We've got our own time scale, but God's time is the best, because they know what we deserve. They know He knows best when it's the right time for someone to settle down, not what the aunties or family think. Sometimes family, they feel ashamed that, oh, our daughter is still not married, she's getting old, other kids her age are married, they've got children. But no. What can you do if it's not yet time? You can't force it, because the moment you try to force it, you create problems in your life. Never be pressured, girls. Just do what's best for you, because it's your life. You only live once. That's what I believe. So you have to make the best of it. Don't live for people. You live for yourself, because it's your life. My next point is know your partner well before settling down. I'm extending to what I said before, that you need to know someone very well before settling down with them. When I mean knowing them very well, is giving time. You can never know someone in 1 month, 2 months, because everything will be sweet. I've never seen any relationship which goes sour straight away, unless if it's really serious problems. But otherwise, most relationships are very sweet for the first few months. But let's give it up to 6 months first test and see how things will be at 6 months. Go to 1 year, 1.5. If things are going well, then at least even if you decide to settle down, you will know that you didn't rush. I'm not saying that by knowing someone for longer, it guarantees you that settling down is the best decision or the marriage will go well. No, it's not a guarantee, but it's better, because you know that you did your best, but you're not in control of what someone will do in 10 years later or something. Things happen, people never expected that things they'll separate or divorce. It still happened, even if they took time to know each other. It's not a guarantee, but at least it gives you more chances of the marriage working, because you took your time rather than rushing things or regretting. Because I've seen some people on social media complaining just after 1 month after marriage that they've realized they made a mistake, they rushed. Or sometimes I've seen brides running away on their wedding day because of all those things, because people have rushed, or they now have realized that they've made a mistake. So we need to be careful how we plan our things, get to know someone very well Another point, number 7, is discuss issues like finances or house chores beforehand. That one is a very important point from experience. Like I always say in my videos, that it's very important to understand how your boyfriend or partner, before settling down, spend their money, or what they do with their money, and what you do with their money, and try to see that if we were to live together, do you think you can make something together? You think you can progress in life? Because there's some men who waste money, like buying, labels, nice cars, but nothing else, no progressing in life. They just love themselves. They just love to look good, but nothing tangible that they do. So think of it when you have that man in your life. Is there going to be a good future there? Or is going to be just taking all his pay, buying labels, buying nice cars, and living the broke? You can't progress, you can't do anything as a family, because he prioritizes those labels, wearing nice clothes. So now when you go inside that marriage, you try to tell him, oh man, I think you're wasting money. They're not going to like it. They'll tell you, you found me like that. I like my branded clothes. So who are you to come and tell me what to wear? So you see all those things. Unless if you like the same thing, then you're a match. There's some women as well who like expensive stuff, expensive weaves, expensive items, always get their nails done, everything. They love that kind of life. Well, if you match, you see, then he's the right person for you, because you know that some of your money will go on to that, on looking good. So you agree on that. We're all different. And then there's some couples who like to save a lot and progress, buy properties, invest with their money. So make sure that you look at all those things, that whether you've got the same goals and you use money the same kind of way. Otherwise, if not, I'm telling you, you're going to be fighting. You'll be trying to invest and he'll be trying to waste money buying those branded clothing and other things, So I'm not saying it's wrong to do that. Everyone has to do what suits them. But I'm talking about women, advising women that if you're going for that kind of person, know what you're going in for. Know that you manage to survive that kind of lifestyle, because it's not easy when you're inside there trying to tell someone how to spend their money. At least that's good if you've got your own money. Maybe it can comfort you. But sometimes it's important as well as a couple to be able to put your monies together and invest or progress in life, rather than just living for today, everyone doing their own thing and the other doing their own thing. And also, it's important as well to discuss house chores. Some of us here living in the diaspora, it's really hard. There's no grandfathers, grandmothers, aunties, sisters, cousins to help you out. You can't even afford a maid. It's very rare to have a maid in when you're living in the diaspora. So every house chore is about you, from laundry. Even if you work, you still have to do your laundry, still have to cook, clean. Sometimes as women, we get tired. So you have to check your partners, especially if you are based in the diaspora, if there are those type of men who help out in the house, or they've got that African pride. Some men saying that, oh, this is a job for women. I don't cook, I don't clean, it's a woman's job. You need to check that, because from my own experience, I had those kind of problems. The person that I was with didn't believe in cooking or helping me in the house. So I was struggling. I have to go to work, clean the house, wash plates, cook all the time, take care of the kids. They always think it's a woman's job. So it put pressure on me. I got really tired, and it's not fair, it's not fair. So I don't know, if you're based in Africa, probably you can afford a maid. If you're both working, it's easy to afford a maid. But for some of us living in diaspora, it's really hard. So it's all those things we need to check. Don't take them as small things, because eventually you get tired in the house. Things need to be done. The house needs to stay clean. The clothes needs to be washed. Cooking needs to be done. The stomachs will complain. You need to eat. So who's gonna cook? Both of you are working full time. You're working hard. You're all bringing money in the house. Is he being fair? Is he helping up? Because it's not like if a man cooks means they're less of a man. That's love. It's a sign of love. They love you. They want to give you rest. They know that they need to help you for the house to run. If a man puts clothes in the washing machine, it doesn't mean that they're less of a man. It's part of love. It's they're helping you. So all those things, we need to consider them, guys, because if you don't, you think, oh, I'll see when I get in. It's more harder when you're inside already, because when you're inside, you're sort of like under pressure now. You have to just tolerate whatever the bed is. You have to just tolerate until you can't tolerate again, and you start regretting it. It's really hard. So I just wrote this point to give you something to think about. Don't ignore red flags. This also extends the same point that I am talking about, that do not ignore things that you don't like in a guy, or things that you think will affect you in future, for the sake of wanting to settle down, or for the sake of thinking time is not on your side, you need to settle down, you don't care about all those things that he does that you don't like. You're thinking that, oh, you'll be able to change him once you're inside. No, it's more harder when you're inside. So if there's anything you need to address with your man or with your guy that you're going to settle with, it's better to address them beforehand, before settling down. If he's willing to change those things, if he says, I love you and I'm willing to change, then fair enough. But you need to make sure that you don't ignore red flags, because they'll still pop back. Once you are married, they'll still pop back. Don't think that you'll be so good that, or you'll be so loving that you won't even do all those things again. No, it's not easy. In marriage, it's not easy. So these tips, I put them for a reason, just to remind girls that check out your sisters, don't make the same mistakes, learn from others, don't ignore, don't be blinded. And then number 9 is check his family, because I wrote 10 points. It's top up to that other point, that check their family is important. You know, to always check where someone is coming from, what type of people they are. You know, it's very important, because some of these things, they will affect you in future if you don't know where the man is coming from, because that's his family. You need to know them very well. From my experience, I didn't check all that, and I live to regret. You know, if I had known better, I wouldn't have put myself in those situations. I'm not going to elaborate on that, because it's quite sensitive information, but I'm just reminding girls that always, you know, you need to check. Don't just go blinded just because you love your man, John, James. I love him. I'm not bothered where it's coming from. No, it can affect you in future. It can affect you. I'm an example of that kind of situation that was affected by where someone comes from. So I'm just teaching other women not to make the same mistakes, because definitely it affects you in some way, because we all come from different families. Sometimes it might not be beyond his control. Your man might be beyond his control. So ladies, just think about it. Hopefully these points will help you. And my last point is to pray. You know, we believe in God as Africans. You know, we know that we serve a living God. So my other advice, to always pray in every situation. Always pray for God to guide you. When you're feeling weak, or you're feeling drained, or you're not sure of what you're doing, of course you've got friends around or to give you advice and all that, but always pray to God, for God to direct you, for God to be the answer to whatever questions you have. Ask God to show you, ask God to reveal to you what sort of a person you're dealing with, because prayer works. You know, if you want to get to know someone, prayer works. If you give it time, you start to see God will make it visible. This is why some girls are lucky. They get angry. They find out that the guy was lying all along. It's a blessing if you find out beforehand. It's more painful when you find out the lies when you are inside. So all those who find out beforehand, they are very blessed. So remember, prayer is a key to everything. Thank you so much, guys. Keep watching out for my videos. Thank you to all those who are subscribing. Keep subscribing. I've got plans, a lot of plans, so check out for my booklets, and all those follow my Instagram page at Faye Empowering Women. Keep checking my page as well. There's always things that I post there to encourage women. Thank you so much, guys. Love you. Bye.